Thanks for tuning back in. I'm Tommy Campbell, still bald, still in my basement, and still laughing at the fact that the guy who slept with an adult film star is now in even more trouble because of what he also did with the pool boy. You can't make this stuff up, and you don't have to. Donald Trump's third indictment is not related to his resort filled with classified documents. It's about when he was president, and that's why this trial can and will happen very soon. I've read the 45-page meticulous indictment by Jack Smith that clearly shows how Donald Trump worked with 6 co-conspirators, including dripping hair dye, I lost my remote control so the TV is inoperable, Rudy Giuliani, to hatch a criminal conspiracy to keep Trump in power. The reaction to this from Newsmax and the entertainment channel for Married Cousins is as ridiculous as Elon Musk's attempt to rebrand Twitter to X, just X, and that change is going as smoothly as Lauren Boebert's marriage. I will drop my take on all of that and more, but first, this.
You see the facts and the evidence and the corruption and the bribes and the admissions and the ties with China. Yeah. That's what they should be focusing their energy on. Not 100%. Somebody who did actually handle the documents in a proper manner, President Trump, and they're using this to try to bootstrap it again.
Don Jr.'s party girlfriend looking like she went into Paul Stanley's dressing room with a stick of dynamite before joining the broadcast. The China ties are the patriotic Trump ones he had made there, the visas Jared Kushner was selling, and Ivanka's trademark requests that were fast-tracked during the Trump administration. Over 40 were approved, including Ivanka-branded fashion gear, beauty services, and voting machines. Yes, voting machines. And for an unbreakable guy, he seems to have breakdowns daily on Truth Social. It is pouring MAGA tears. Fill your mugs and pints, have a laugh with the good people in the comments while I mock the latest and stupid and more. I find it hilarious that the indictment for 45 is 45 pages. Not a mistake. And throughout the indictment, you see dishonesty, election fraud lies, and that the defendant, Donald Trump, knew that his claims were false, and he still plotted to hold on to power. The indictment details that he allegedly lied again and again while he was still president, and that the violence and aggression on January 6th was something he anticipated and found key to staying in power.
And I guess you have to be careful what you say. He still is the special investigator, the special prosecutor.
I
kind of holds, yours and others' future. Go ahead.
I long ago stopped being careful, and I don't worry about the Jack Smiths of this world. I have a chapter in my book called Stand Up to Bullies. So here's what I say to Jack Smith. After the Supreme Court threw out your case, which should have been a disgrace, and you should have gone and found another profession, because you don't belong in this one. This one will be your legacy, violating the right of free speech of an American citizen. Never mind whether he was president or not. It could be anybody. It could be a homeless person. You don't get to violate people's First Amendment rights, Smith, no matter who the hell you are, or no matter how sick you are with Trump derangement syndrome. And this isn't the first time you've acted like an unethical lawyer. It should be the last.
Co-conspirator 1 looks like he's going to cry, and he says this is about free speech and that Trump has a right to lie. And this is huge because Trump's defense will be that he really thought it was stolen, and Rudy's on here saying Trump should have a right to lie. Now, no matter what you see on Fox, Newsmax, or your Weird Uncle's Facebook, Trump is not charged with lying. A lie, when expressed as an opinion, is free speech. Donald Trump used his lie as a basis to defraud the United States, obstruct the government, and try to remain in power. His actions were criminal. Rudy is all over the indictment. It's not looking good for Rudy. He's got to start making some MacGyver plans, like can hair dye double as lube to soften the blow? The sweet potato-headed dingleberry who gets actual Nazis at his rallies is claiming fake charges, election interference, and that the persecution is reminiscent of Nazi Germany, and goes on to call it an un-American witch hunt. Hey, let's meet outside the rally with our lightning rods, and if we survive, we'll go in and donate our life savings to the guy with skyscrapers, a jet, and resorts while we have 3 teeth between us. Mike Pence has been doing so badly in his race for the nomination that he's not even in the news. Like, the rare time I see a snippet of him, I'm like, oh yeah, you're having a go. So the Trump indictment is a bit of a lifeline for Pence. But it's a lifeline like he was thrown Carrie Lake's bizarre from behind Trump inflatable with a leak. Just enough for him to bob up and down, but not enough for Pencey to finish. Really, how long till Pence bows out and says, God chose a different path for him. Thank you. I see every tip that comes through from pennies to dollars. They are hugely appreciated and help make this show possible. If you love what I do here and you can afford to help out, throw me a buck with the PayPal link in the pinned comment or drop me a super thanks. The bobblehead who attacked a reporter for not having read his slavery wasn't all bad curriculum in Florida won't take 15 minutes to read a heavily spaced 45-page indictment. It's a very important read, Ron, but I know if you say you've read it, then there's no way you could side with Trump at all.
Go to Frank Clips, guys, and show him because my computer just died on me. So go to that in the control room, guys. Frank speech, and let's show him where the little banner is for Frank Clips. Guys in the control room, did you go to sleep on us?
Okay, it's fine.
The guys in the control room are Brandon's offspring, and they're learning as they go so they can join their dad draining Lindell's bank account. You can't make it up.
The First Amendment doesn't allow the President of the United States to go and claim there was fraud when he was told there was not fraud, and then try to subvert the election by overturning legitimate electors. I mean, it says it right here in the actual indictment.
Absolutely. The First Amendment protects all speech.
It protects.
If we're going to have a
When this goes to trial, if Jack Smith has a witness, such as Mike Pence or Mark Meadows, who has not said a peep in a very long time, and one of them is willing to testify that Donald Trump told them he knew he lost, then Trump will be eating hamburgers with generic ketchup behind bars. Elon Musk decided to throw away years of Twitter name recognition for an X, and nobody knows what to call a tweet now. If you post a video, it's an X video, which is also the name of a popular adult website, so I've heard. The entire thing is a mess. Microsoft holds the trademark for X, but it's limited to video game-related services. Hello, Xbox. However, Meta holds the X trademark for online social networking services in the fields of entertainment, gaming, and application development. Removing the iconic Twitter logo from outside the San Francisco building was halted by police since the company didn't obtain a permit to block the street with the equipment to do so, and then they went and put a gigantic strobing X on the roof. If you want to see how bad it is, check out the light hitting the adjacent building. As someone that lives next to people with a bunch of string lights permanently on, they're so bright I cannot go in my backyard without sunglasses, I feel their pain. Light pollution is a real thing, and the strobe effect can be triggering for a lot of people. Elon tweeted, "It is important for people to come to work in San Francisco or the rest of the city can't survive." Naturally, I replied, I didn't think that the bat signal for Coup was going to be a flashing X, but here we are. And today, well, the sign is already down because, again, did not get the proper permits. Elon and the MAGA base are super upset that people keep calling it Twitter. And this is genuinely my favorite thing, since he and the right-wing mob refuse to use others' pronouns. And now that he's rebranded Twitter X, they're in uproar because people keep calling it Twitter. I want to be called X now. Nope, you're Twitter. Still Twitter. Even Stephen King's joining the party. For those new to the show, I'm glad you found me. Thank you. For a year, I've been reading a genuine page from Lauren Boebert's book. This really is a ton of fun. I only do it once a week, and it's been pretty wild. Let's get back to it. Thanks to my husband's quick thinking and my ridiculous sharp chin, my hamster was set free. I held him in my hand, scratching his head with my press-on nails while being careful not to disturb his tiny tent pole, brought to you by Jason with the Wise loose pepperoni pills. The others were moments away, so we had to act fast. Jason tossed the Funyuns bag containing his truck nuts in the trash, but I had nowhere safe to hide Mountain Dew. I pulled my arm way back, ready to throw him behind the bar where a pile of crunchy rags could offer him a maybe safe landing. You know, when I was in high school for a little bit, I played softball and dabbled with the coveted position of the pitcher. The truth is, being on the mound was like being on center stage, but there are no poles in softball. Some girls could not handle the pressure, but they were probably a bit stressed out by exams and homework. 3 stupid things I avoided as much as birth control and cops. I used to psych my opponents out by writing crazy things on the home plate, so when they went up to face me, they would look down and see their boyfriend's phone number or a pentagram. I was a great pitcher, but now the only great pitcher I need is the one full of Coors before a road trip or an afternoon with the grandchild I pretend to be excited about for the camera. But let's face it, if I wanted to be around someone who cries a lot and wears diapers, I'd rather it be our great real president than my kid's kid. Yeah, I could make this throw, and to be fair, Mountain Dew still has his Confederate flag cape on, and this Colorado Wildcat trusts the science, and capes make you fly. But does that mean if I throw him, he'll soar around lady buns and go on some top secret missions? Will I overshoot the rag pile? What stopped me was knowing that the others would see the hamster mid-flight and try and snag first prize. I kept my pitching arm up, but instead of throwing my hamster for a strike, I put him on my head and kicked Jason in the shin. He cowered forward enough for me to take the cowboy hat off his head, and I flipped it over mine. Jason rubbed his sore, no, not the lip one, the stick leg I just bashed with my clear heels, and I did my best to keep it together as my hamster crawled his Stetson hideout, dragging his little landing gear across my hair. It was like a fairy tale. If you've enjoyed this genuine page from Low Rent Boozeburb's book, let me know in the comments, and I'll see about reading another page sometime soon.
First point, they said the defendant impaired the federal government from functioning. Isn't that literally the Republican Party platform to reduce the ability of the federal government from functioning? And then
they're laughing at the truth that their goal is to make it as hard as possible for the government to get things done. It's insulting. Someone should throw a paper bag over your head. MAGA Tears. This is proof that comedians should stay out of politics. MAGA Tears. I would rather watch women's soccer than this talentless liberal. Enough. MAGA Tears. Make fun of Sleep Joe and Hunter, will ya? MAGA Tears. Thanks so much for watching. Help me out by joining us in the comments, sharing this video with a friend, and following me on social media. I am a one-man show here, from script to screen, the editing, even the graphics. Please throw me a tip with the easy PayPal link, or hit that super thanks button, and be sure to check out my mugs that go great with those MAGA Tears. I am a stand-up comedian. I've played in 35 countries, and I've toured with Jim Jefferies for nearly 10 years. I have 3 albums and a brand new EP from my opening set on Jim's latest Netflix special. You can stream these on Spotify, Apple Music, or catch them on SiriusXM. Thanks for helping me make this show possible. Life's short. Be cool, be kind, take care.